This is the preface from Life in a Christian Bookshop. He walked in, raised his head and closed his eyes like he was enjoying the smell of a delicious meal. As he breathed in deeply, it was as if a platter had been placed into his hands with the aroma of home-cooked food wafting past his nose. It's so peaceful in here. You are so lucky. The young man opened his eyes and looked at me intently while he inquired, "You haven't got any vacancies, have you?" I could hear a muffled laugh coming from somewhere behind the counter, and I understood the wryness in the tone. As much as my colleagues and I loved our job, we knew that the grass was not always greener on our side of the fence. Almost every week, a customer would declare that they wanted to swap places with one of us because their secular job was too stressful. During their lunch break, they would enter, then pause to unwind, basking in what was an atmosphere of peace compared to what they had just escaped from. While the uplifting music soothed away their stress, they would take time to browse the book titles, hoping that time would go slowly. In reality, the only reason why these particular customers felt that way is because they had a special gift, a coveted talent that belonged only to them. Their gift was called impeccable timing. Somehow, this blessed minority had the ability to choose opportune moments to visit the store when no pandemonium was taking place. They had never bumped into any drunken men who were swaying around while their lager spilt everywhere. They had never witnessed a thief being frog-marched out of the shop by burly security guards. They never encountered the scary female vicar who would order us to switch off the music because she hated Sunday school songs. They had never brushed shoulders with disorientated Satanists who were looking for books on witchcrafts, Seventh-day Adventists complaining that we didn't stock books by Ellen White, and alcoholics shouting, "Jesus turned water into wine for people just like me." Lastly, we knew for sure that these individuals had definitely never visited us during the week of stock taking. There is no greater privilege than to be in a profession that sells the Word of God. There is nothing more joyful than to see somebody obtain a book that is going to help them get over their anxiety, fears, guilt, depression, and loneliness. It is wonderful to be in a workplace that is playing music that is glorifying Jesus. It is great to know one is selling books, devotionals, and magazines that are showing people how to pray and draw nearer to the Lord. It is magnificent to have colleagues who are as passionate about Jesus as you are. Most of all, nothing is more glorious than being in an atmosphere where in every corner of the workplace the great message of salvation is being sent out in various ways to those who do not yet have the joyous experience of having their sins forgiven. However, every ministry comes with its own challenges, and we had more than our fair share. I loved my time working at the bookshop, but behind the smiles there were frustrations we encountered just like in any other place of employment. This is a collection of fun memoirs about my time with suppliers, customers, colleagues, and all things in between. For me, the most important thing about a book of memoirs is to exercise integrity. Therefore, whenever I cannot fully remember an incident, a person's words, facial expression, mannerism, vocal tone, or outcome of a story, I have omitted description or mentioned that I have forgotten the full details. Exaggeration to a story is more interesting to make a story more interesting is technically lying. Maybe some writers do it and get away with it, but I want to honour my God by being as truthful as possible. Head office is written in capitals when it refers generically to the entire management team who are in control of all the shops. In chapter 20, reference has been made to certain singers whereby only first names or abbreviations have been provided. I appreciate that without a glossary you may not know to whom I am referring. This has been done out of humour rather than discourtesy, and I am more than happy for you to contact me for clarification should you have a burning desire to know who I'm on about. Lastly, for the sake of privacy and respect for my customers and colleagues, all names have been changed. Well, apart from Jemima and the Prince of Egypt, but they were already false names, so there's no reason to alter them again.